Listen to me. This Sunday, not next month, not someday, this Sunday, something has been chasing you, and you've been running from it like it's your worst nightmare. But it's not debt collectors knocking at your door. It's not another bill you can't pay. It's not the doctor with bad news. It's divine wealth, and it's been hunting you down for years. Stop. I need you to hear this. I'm talking to the 68-year-old woman sitting there right now, wondering if Social Security will cover the prescriptions this month. I'm talking to the grandfather with grey hair and tired knees who's convinced his glory days died with his career. I'm talking to every single one of you who's outlived your spouse, outlived your dreams, and secretly whispered, "God, I just want to make it through the month." That's all I'm asking. Heaven heard that prayer. And heaven said no. You see, there are ordinary Sundays where you sit in your chair, watch the hours pass, maybe go to church out of habit, and then there are marked Sundays, circled Sundays, Kairos Sundays, where eternity crashes into your living room, whether you're ready or not. This coming Sunday? It has your name written on it in red ink. But here's what's breaking my heart right now. You've been standing at your own door with the chain on, while heaven's been ringing the bell, arms full of packages. Your name on every single one. Peace that doesn't come from a bank statement. Dignity that age cannot steal. Healing in relationships you thought were dead. Clarity about why you're still breathing when so many aren't. That's divine wealth, and it's been chasing you. I'm about to show you the one habit, just one, that's kept you running from blessing for decades. There's a reason you felt stuck right before every breakthrough. That pattern? It dies this Sunday, but only if you stop running. If something in your chest just stirred, if your spirit knows I'm talking directly to you, type in the comments right now, "I'm done running." That's not just a comment. That's your first agreement with heaven today. Stay with me. What I'm about to reveal will explain everything. You know what nobody tells you about getting older? It's not your body that gets tired first. It's your hope. Somewhere between 60 and 70, between burying loved ones and watching the world change into something you barely recognize, something inside you made a decision. A quiet decision. You didn't announce it. You didn't even realize you were making it, but you decided that playing it safe was the same thing as being faithful. Dear one, let me tell you something that might sting a little. You've been running, not from God's love. You still pray, you still believe, but you've been running from God's assignment, from His call, from the very thing He's been trying to place in your hands for years. Running doesn't always look like Jonah getting on a boat to Tarshish. Sometimes running looks like a 72-year-old woman who keeps saying no to opportunities because that's for younger people. Sometimes running looks like a grandfather who's convinced himself that staying comfortable is the same as staying obedient. Sometimes running looks like turning down every invitation, every nudge from the Holy Spirit, every divine appointment because you've wrapped yourself in the safety blanket of, "I'm too old for this." Let me ask you something. How many times in the last 5 years have you felt God stirring something in your spirit, only to shut it down with, "Not at my age"? How many times have you sensed Him calling you to step out, speak up, try something new, and you've said, "Lord, find somebody else"? That's running, beloved, and you've been doing it without even knowing it. You see, Jonah didn't run because he hated God. He ran because he was scared of what obedience would cost him. Jonah chapter 1, verse 3 tells us, "But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish." He knew where God wanted him to go. He knew what God was asking, but fear made him choose the opposite direction. Sound familiar? Here's what breaks my heart. You're not running because you're rebellious. You're running because you're terrified. Terrified of becoming a burden to your children if you take a risk and it fails. Terrified of being disappointed by God one more time because you've already buried enough dreams to fill a cemetery. Terrified that if you step out in faith at 75 years old and nothing happens, you won't have time to recover from the heartbreak. So you've learned to run in place. You keep busy. You stay distracted. You turn on the TV the moment you wake up because silence means you'd have to hear that still, small voice that keeps calling your name. You fill your days with routines and errands and phone calls because movement feels like progress even when you're going nowhere. You're like a hamster on a wheel, tired, exhausted, but not moving forward. And the enemy? He loves this. He's worked overtime to keep you in this exact position, not backslidden, not rebellious, just tired and cautious, because he knows something you've forgotten. He knows that the most dangerous believers aren't the young, energetic ones. They're the older ones who have nothing left to lose and everything eternal to gain. They're the ones who've walked with God long enough to know He keeps His promises. They're the ones whose faith has been tested by fire and came out as gold. That's you. That's why the attacks have been so subtle. That's why the enemy hasn't tried to pull you away from church. He just needed to convince you to stay quiet, to stay small, to stay safe. But here's what you need to understand. That restlessness in your chest at 3 a.m, that's not insomnia. That's God. That feeling that there's something more, something you're supposed to be doing, that's not your imagination. That's assignment knocking on the door of your spirit. You're not crazy. You're not faithless. You're scared, and heaven understands that. God knows your knees hurt. He knows your bank account is thin. He knows you've buried people you thought would bury you. He knows you're tired of hoping for things that never seem to come. But beloved, heaven won't let you stay there. Not anymore. Not this Sunday. Because what's chasing you isn't another disappointment. It's not another false hope. What's chasing you is the very thing your soul has been crying out for since you were young. Provision that doesn't depend on social security. Purpose that doesn't have an expiration date. Divine wealth has been pursuing you, and you've been running from it disguised as wisdom. If I'm describing you right now, if you recognize yourself in these words, just whisper it. Lord, I hear you. Type "that's me" in the comments so we can lift you up in prayer. Because what I'm about to tell you next will explain exactly why this Sunday is different from every other Sunday you've lived through. But first, you need to understand what divine wealth really is. And it's not what you think. Now listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is going to shatter everything the world has taught you about being rich. Divine wealth is not a lottery ticket. It's not Publishers Clearinghouse showing up at your door with balloons and an oversized check. I'm not here to sell you some prosperity gospel nonsense where you name it and claim it and suddenly you're driving a Bentley at 75. That's not what's chasing you this Sunday. What's chasing you is something the world can't give and the stock market can't take away. What's hunting you down is the kind of wealth that makes a person lie on their deathbed and smile instead of panic. The kind of riches that can't be stolen by inflation, can't be destroyed by medical bills, and can't be lost when the economy crashes. Proverbs 10:22 says it plainly. The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and He adds no sorrow with it. Did you catch that last part? No sorrow with it. Not wealth that comes with ulcers and anxiety, not riches that cost you your peace, but blessing that fills every empty place in your soul. Let me tell you what divine wealth really looks like for someone your age. It's waking up at 3 a.m., not with panic about money, but with deep peace that passes understanding. Settled. That's spiritual wealth. When you know beyond knowing that you belong to the King of Kings, that your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life, that nothing can separate you from His love. Some of you haven't had a full night's sleep in years because anxiety has been your roommate. That peace you're desperate for? That's divine wealth. But it doesn't stop there. Divine wealth is emotional healing. It's release from the bitterness you've carried since 1987 when that business partner betrayed you. It's freedom from the regret that whispers at you every time you pass your daughter's empty bedroom. It's the lifting of shame you've dragged behind you like chains for 3 decades. Some of you right now are wealthy in your bank accounts but bankrupt in your hearts. You've got money but you're dying inside from wounds that never healed. God wants to make you rich where it actually matters. And here's where it cuts deep. Divine wealth is relational restoration. Some of you, be honest with me. Some of you would trade every dollar in your retirement account for one phone call from that son who stopped speaking to you 5 years ago. You'd give up your house for your daughter to bring the grandkids over one more Sunday. You'd surrender every possession you own to hear "I forgive you" from that person you wounded decades ago. That reconciliation, that healed relationship, that's wealth the Forbes 400 will never understand. But I'm not done. Divine wealth is also practical. It's wisdom with the money you do have. It's unexpected checks in the mail when you didn't know how you'd pay for the medication. It's doors opening that have been locked for years. It's divine strategy dropping into your mind at 2 a.m. about that situation you've been wrestling with. It's God teaching a 70-year-old how to navigate a world that's changed so fast your head spins. Now hear me clearly. I am not promising you riches so you can sit in a recliner and binge Netflix until Jesus calls you home. Divine wealth chases you because God has an assignment for you to finish. He's not trying to make you comfortable. He's trying to make you complete, whole, resourced, equipped for what He's placed you on this earth to accomplish in your final chapter. Think about it this way. Divine wealth is like a river that's been flowing under your feet your entire life, but you never knew it was there. This Sunday, God wants to crack the ground open, not so you can hoard water, so you can become a well that others can drink from. Not just full pockets, beloved, a full soul. Some of you are sitting there thinking, but I'm too old. My time for wealth, any kind of wealth, has passed. That's exactly why God often waits until your later years to release certain kinds of riches. Because only someone who's lived long enough, hurt deep enough, and survived hard enough can be trusted with what He's about to pour out. Young people want wealth for themselves, but you've lived long enough to know that the greatest wealth is what you can give away. In the comments right now, I need you to type, "Divine wealth is more than money." Say it, declare it. Let heaven hear you, redefining what being rich really means. Because what I'm about to show you next will explain why God has been holding back certain blessings until this exact season of your life, and why this Sunday is the release date heaven has been preparing for. You know what haunts you at 3 a.m.? It's not just the arthritis or the trips to the bathroom. It's that whisper, that cold, cruel voice that says, "You're too late. Your time is up. God's moved on to younger people." I need you to hear something that's going to shatter that lie right now. What if I told you that God has been waiting for you to get older? What if the years you've been calling wasted, heaven has been calling preparation? What if your age isn't your disqualification, it's your divine appointment? Look at Abraham, 75 years old when God called him to leave everything he knew. 75. In a world where people his age were settling into their final years, God said, "Now we begin." And at 100 years old, Abraham held Isaac in his trembling hands. Genesis 21:5 tells us plainly, Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. 100. Let that number sit in your chest. Sarah laughed when God promised her a child at 90. She laughed because her body was dead, her hope was buried, her window had closed decades ago. But Genesis 18:14 asks the question that's echoing over your life right now. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Your age doesn't limit God. Your age reveals Him. Moses was 80 years old when he stood before that burning bush. 80. The world would have handed him a gold watch and a rocking chair, but God handed him a staff and said, "Now you're ready to deliver a nation." For the next 40 years, Moses would perform miracles that would be told for thousands of years. Exodus 7:7 records it. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. Do you see the pattern? Do you see what heaven is trying to tell you? God doesn't retire his warriors. He refines them. Think about Anna the prophetess, 84 years old, spending her days and nights in the temple while everyone else went home to their families. People probably thought, poor old Anna, still hanging around after all these years. But Luke 2:36-37 tells us she was exactly where she needed to be. Because when Mary and Joseph brought baby Jesus to the temple, Anna was the first to recognize the Messiah of the world. Not the young, not the educated, not the powerful. The old woman who had been faithful in the waiting. Her age wasn't her limitation, it was her qualification. Here's what the world will never understand about you. Young people have energy, but you have authority. They have speed, but you have weight. They have passion, but you have proven faithfulness. And right now, in this moment when America is drowning in confusion, when families are fracturing, when truth is being twisted, we don't need more energy, we need more authority. Your wrinkles are your credentials. Your gray hair is your crown. Every line on your face is a testimony that you survived what should have killed you. But I know what you're thinking. All those years I wasted, all those mistakes I made, all that time I could have been serving God, but I was busy chasing the wrong things. Stop right there. What if those weren't wasted years? What if they were wilderness years, just like Moses? What if every failure taught you humility? What if every betrayal taught you discernment? What if every financial struggle taught you that God is your provider when everything else fails? The masterpiece isn't finished with the first brush strokes. It's completed with the final ones. And right now, God is putting the finishing touches on a life that will astound everyone who's been counting you out. Heaven isn't looking at your birth certificate. Heaven is looking at your willingness. You are not on the bench, beloved. You're in the fourth quarter, and heaven specializes in fourth quarter miracles. When everyone thinks the game is over, when the scoreboard looks impossible, when time is running out, that's when God loves to move. This Sunday isn't just another day you survive. This Sunday is the beginning of your fourth quarter comeback. The years behind you weren't preparation for retirement. They were preparation for this, your finest hour. But here's what I need you to understand before we go any deeper. There are three specific ways that older believers accidentally push away the very wealth heaven is trying to deliver. And if you don't know what they are, you'll keep that door chain on while blessing rings the bell. If you've ever said, "I'm too old," type it right now. Lord, use my fourth quarter. Because what I'm about to show you next will explain exactly how you've been standing in your own way without even knowing it. Now listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is going to sting a little. But sometimes love has to hurt before it heals. You've been praying for breakthrough. You've been asking God to open doors. You've been on your knees begging heaven to remember your address. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. The biggest obstacle between you and divine wealth isn't the devil. It's not your bank account. It's not your age. It's you. I can feel some of you bristling right now. Pastor, how dare you blame me for my struggles? But stay with me, because once you see these three patterns, once you recognize the chains you've been wrapping around your own wrists, everything changes. The first way. You keep talking yourself out of blessing. Every single morning, you wake up and speak death over your own life. You don't even realize you're doing it. I'm fine. That's your favorite lie, isn't it? Someone asks how you're doing, and you smile that tired smile and say, "I'm fine. I don't need much, just trying to get by." But fine is not what God called you to. Fine is not the abundant life Jesus promised in John 10:10. Fine is survival mode disguised as contentment. And then there's the other phrase that's been poisoning your future for years. It's too late. Too late to start fresh. Too late to dream again. Too late to believe God still has plans for someone with gray hair and social security income. You've said it so many times that you've convinced yourself it's truth. But it's a lie straight from the pit of hell. Moses was 80 when God called him to lead a nation. Sarah was 90 when she gave birth to promise. You think 75 is too old. You think 82 is past your prime. Tell that to Caleb, who at 85 said, "Give me this mountain." Your mouth has been writing checks your faith can't cash. And heaven's been waiting for you to stop talking yourself out of the very blessing that's been chasing you. The second way, you're clinging to safe misery. Here's something that's going to shake you. You say you want change, but you're terrified of it, because misery, as painful as it is, has become your oldest friend. You know that chair you sit in every night, that routine that never varies, that loneliness you wear like an old coat. It hurts, yes, but it's familiar. And somewhere deep down, you've decided that familiar pain is safer than unknown blessing. You stay in relationships that drain you because at least you're not alone. You stay in financial lack because at least you know how to survive on less. You stay bitter about what happened 30 years ago because at least that anger gives you something to hold on to. Proverbs 26:11 says, "As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly." That's harsh, isn't it? But sometimes the Bible doesn't coddle us. Sometimes it shakes us awake. You've been returning to the same pain, the same patterns, the same prison cell, with the door wide open, because stepping into the unknown requires courage you're not sure you have anymore. But divine wealth is standing right outside that cell, and it's not going to drag you out. You have to choose to walk through that open door. The third way, you've confused humility with self-rejection. This one breaks my heart the most, because you've spent so many years in church hearing about humility that you've started believing you don't deserve good things from God. Who am I to ask for abundance? Look at me. I'm nobody special. There are people worse off than me. I should just be grateful for what I have. That sounds holy. It sounds humble. But it's actually pride disguised as piety. Because what you're really saying is, my unworthiness is bigger than God's grace. Listen to me. Jesus didn't die on that cross so you could spend your final years apologizing for breathing. He didn't shed his blood so you could live in dignified poverty while calling it virtue. Psalm 35:27 says, "The Lord delights in the prosperity of his servant." Delights, God takes pleasure in blessing you. But you keep answering his knock at the door saying, "Wrong address. I'm not worthy of packages this big." That's not humility. That's rejection of what Christ already purchased for you. You know what these three patterns have in common? They don't need the devil's help. You've been your own worst enemy. You've been standing in the rain holding an umbrella inside the house. God's been knocking with his arms full, and you keep shouting through the door, "I don't deserve visitors." But this Sunday, this specific Sunday that's marked in heaven's calendar with your name on it, that changes. If this is speaking directly to your heart right now, do not click away. Stay with me. And if you can, hit that like button so this message finds another soul who thinks their story is over when God says it's just beginning. Because what I'm about to tell you next will explain why this particular Sunday carries weight in the spirit realm that no other Sunday this year has carried, and why everything you've been pushing away is about to push back. Let me tell you something about time that most people never understand. God works in time, but he also works above time. There are moments he sets aside not for calendars, not for appointments, not for the world, but for your heart. Days marked in heaven's ledger long before you woke up this morning. And this Sunday? This Sunday is one of them. I know what you're thinking. I've heard this before. Every preacher says the next service is special. But listen to me carefully. Have you felt it? That pressure in your chest that's been building for weeks, maybe months? That restlessness you can't quite name? You thought it was anxiety. You thought it was age. You thought it was just your body wearing down. But what if it's been heaven knocking? What if your spirit has been trying to tell you something your mind keeps dismissing? Because that's how divine appointments work, beloved. They don't show up with trumpets and angels in your kitchen. They show up as a stirring, a knowing, a holy discomfort that won't let you settle. You've felt different lately, haven't you? Something's shifting. Dreams you haven't had in years suddenly returning. Names of people you haven't thought about in decades randomly crossing your mind. An unexplainable urge to pray when you're normally just going through the motions. That's not coincidence. That's preparation. God has been preparing you for this Sunday. Not next Sunday. Not the comfortable Sunday 3 weeks from now when you feel more ready. This one. The one that's coming in just a few days. The one you almost scrolled past this message to ignore. See, here's what breaks my heart. Most people treat Sunday like it's just another day on the calendar, another routine, another obligation. Wake up, maybe go to church, come home, watch the game, go to bed. But Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven." Not every Sunday is the same. Some Sundays are marked, circled, set apart. And when God marks a day for you, one of two things happens. Either you show up and everything shifts, or you miss it and spend the next season wondering why you're still stuck in the same place. I'm not talking about magic. I'm not selling you prosperity gospel nonsense. I'm telling you that this Sunday, heaven expects you to stop running from the very thing you've been praying for. Think about it. What have you been praying for? Peace in your finances, healing in your body, restoration with your children who don't call anymore, clarity about why you're still here when so many friends have gone home. You've prayed those prayers for so long they've become background noise. But God's been listening, and He's been waiting for you to be ready, waiting for the moment when your desperation finally outweighs your fear. This Sunday is that moment. Here's what I need you to understand. I'm not saying everything changes overnight. I'm not promising you'll wake up Monday morning with $1 million and a new body. But I am saying the direction changes this Sunday. It's like a train switching tracks. One small turn, whole new destination. You might not feel the shift immediately, but 6 months from now, you'll look back and say, "That Sunday, that's when it started." You know what could happen this Sunday? Something as simple as a step of obedience. God whispers, "Call your daughter," and instead of making excuses, you pick up the phone. Or a prayer of surrender where you finally stop trying to control everything and say, "God, I'm yours. Do what you want." Or an act of generosity that defies logic, giving when you feel you can't afford to, because heaven told you to trust Him. Small acts, divine consequences. It's like a door that's been slowly swinging open for months, and this Sunday it finally reaches the point where you can walk through. But you have to walk. You have to move. You have to stop standing there staring at the opening, paralyzed by fear of the unknown. Moses stood at the Red Sea for hours before he finally lifted that staff. The water didn't part because he felt ready. It parted because he obeyed. Joshua circled Jericho for 6 days in silence before he shouted on the 7th. The walls didn't fall because he understood the strategy. They fell because he showed up. This Sunday, heaven is asking you to show up. Not perfectly, not with all your questions answered, not with your life cleaned up and your doubts resolved. Just show up, present, available, willing, And in a moment, I'm going to give you 4 practical things to do before and during this Sunday, so you stop running from the divine wealth that's been chasing you. But first, you need to settle this in your spirit. If you're still watching right now, if something in you knows this message is for you, write in the comments, "This Sunday, I show up." That's not just words. That's your agreement with heaven. That's you telling God, "I'm done running." Because what you do this Sunday will determine where you are this time next year. And I need you to understand what's really at stake here. Now listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to give you isn't theory. This isn't feel-good religion. These are 4 actions that will determine whether divine wealth finds you standing at the door with your arms open or hiding behind the curtains pretending you're not home. You have 4 days, maybe 5, depending on when you're hearing this. That's not a lot of time when you've spent 70 years running, but it's enough. God can do more in 4 days of obedience than you've accomplished in 40 years of trying. Step 1. Prepare your heart. Here's what I need you to do right now, not later, right now. I want you to stop this video for 60 seconds and speak these words out loud in your home. Lord, I'm tired of running. I'm ready to receive. You think I'm joking? I'm not. Your voice has power. Romans 10:9 says, "If you declare with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved." Your mouth isn't just for eating and complaining. It's for declaring truth over your circumstances. But here's what's going to happen. The moment you try to say those words, something in you is going to resist. You're going to feel foolish. You're going to think, "I'm too old for this. I'm sitting alone in my apartment talking to the ceiling." That resistance, that's exactly what's been keeping divine wealth at bay for decades. That voice that says you're too old, too broken, too ordinary to matter to God. You've been preparing your heart for disappointment your whole life. You've been rehearsing failure. You've been practicing poverty. Now it's time to prepare your heart for abundance. And it starts with your mouth making a declaration that your mind doesn't fully believe yet. Proverbs 18:21 tells us, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." You've been speaking death over your finances, death over your purpose, death over your remaining years. This Sunday, that changes. But only if you prepare the soil of your heart right now. Step 2, clean your atmosphere. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Before Sunday arrives, you need to let go of one thing. Just one. I'm not asking you to fix your whole life. I'm asking you to release one thing that's been poisoning the atmosphere around you. Maybe it's that grudge you've been nursing since 1987. You know the one. The betrayal that still makes your blood boil when you think about it at 3 in the morning. Maybe it's the bitter story you keep telling yourself about why your life turned out this way. Maybe it's that toxic voice you keep listening to, the family member who only calls to criticize, the news channel that feeds you fear for breakfast, the friend who reminds you every week that your best days are behind you. Here's what you don't understand. Divine wealth is like a king coming to visit your home, and you've got trash piled up at the front door. You've got bitterness rotting in the corners. You've got unforgiveness blocking the hallway, and you wonder why blessing can't get in. Hebrews 12:15 warns us, "See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many." That bitter root? It's been defiling your atmosphere. It's been announcing to heaven, "Not welcome here." I'm going to tell you something that might make you angry. That person who hurt you? They're sleeping fine at night, but you're still carrying their weight. You're still giving them power over your peace. And every day you hold on to that grudge, you're telling divine wealth, "I'm not ready. My hands are too full of yesterday to receive tomorrow." Clean your atmosphere. Write their name on a piece of paper and tell God, "I release this. Not because they deserve it, because I deserve to be free before Sunday comes." Step 3. Show up with expectation. Here's what I need you to hear. If you can get to a church this Sunday, go, even if your knees hurt, even if you don't like the music, even if you haven't been in months. Because there's something about showing up in the house of God when He's specifically marked a day for you. Psalm 122:1 says, I rejoiced with those who said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. But if you can't get there, if health won't allow it, if circumstances won't permit it, then you create a sacred space at home. You turn off that television, you silence that phone, you sit in your favorite chair and you tell heaven, I'm here, I'm present, I'm expecting you to show up. And here's what's going to separate you from everyone else. Dress like you're meeting the King. Even if you're in your living room, even if nobody sees you, put on something that makes you feel dignified. Comb your hair, stand up straight, because how you present yourself reflects what you believe about who's coming to meet you. You've been dressing for defeat. You've been showing up to life in your spiritual pajamas. This Sunday, you dress for the divine appointment heaven scheduled before time began. Step 4. Bring a yes in advance. Now this is the step that separates those who receive from those who keep running. Before Sunday even arrives, I want you to tell God something that's going to terrify you. Whatever you ask me to do when you speak, my answer is already yes. You know why you've been running from divine wealth? Because deep down, you know that blessing comes with assignment. You know that when God opens your hands to receive, He's also going to open your mouth to speak. When He fills your life, He's going to send you to fill others. And you're scared. You're scared He'll ask you to do something you're too old for, too tired for, too broken for. But here's the truth that's going to set you free. God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. Your yes before He even asks is what heaven's been waiting for. Because divine wealth doesn't chase people who keep negotiating at the door. It chases those who've already decided that whatever God brings, they're receiving it. Whatever He asks, they're doing it. Whatever He requires, they're surrendering to it. This is your moment. In the comments right now, choose one step and type, I will before Sunday. Make it public. Make it real. Make it your agreement with heaven. Because what I'm about to show you next is the inner shift that lets divine wealth finally catch up to you. This is the heart surgery that changes everything. You know what breaks my heart? It's the lie you've been whispering to yourself for decades. The lie that sounds so humble, so holy, so reasonable that nobody ever challenged it. Good things are for other people. You've said it 1,000 times, haven't you? When you see someone blessed, someone healed, someone walking in favor, you smile and say, God is so good to them. But inside, there's a voice, a quiet, poisonous voice that whispers, but not to me. I'm too old. I made too many mistakes. I'm not special enough. Let me tell you something that's going to shake you. That voice, it's not humility. It's not wisdom. That voice is a liar, and it's been robbing you blind. You are not an afterthought in God's economy. You are not the leftovers He tolerates. You are a chosen one. Listen to me carefully. Ephesians 1:4 says, He chose us in Him before the foundation of the world. Before the foundation, before your first mistake, before your first failure, before your first gray hair, your first wrinkle, your first disappointment. He looked at you and said, that one, I choose that one. But somewhere along the way, you started believing that choosing was past tense. That God chose you for salvation, sure, but the good stuff, the abundance, the peace, the restoration, that's for the younger ones. The ones who didn't mess up their marriage, the ones who managed their money better, the ones who stayed faithful when you faltered. You've been running from divine wealth because you think you don't deserve to be chased. Picture this with me. You're a tired runner, legs burning, chest heaving, and behind you is the sound of footsteps. You think it's judgment catching up. You think it's consequences finally arriving. So you run harder, faster, until your body can't take another step. And then you collapse. You fall. And as you're lying there in the dust, expecting the worst, strong arms wrap around you, not to punish you, to hold you. That's where you are right now, dear one. You've been running from the very embrace you've been praying for. Here's what I need you to understand about divine wealth. It's not a trophy you earn for perfect behavior. It's not a prize at the end of a competition you've already lost. Divine wealth is the Father's way of taking care of his child. Period. You don't earn your Father's provision. You receive it because you belong to him. But you can't receive with clenched fists. You can't catch blessing while you're still running. So, right now, I want to do something that might feel uncomfortable. I want you to forgive yourself. For every financial decision you regret, for every relationship you damaged, for every opportunity you missed, for every year you think you wasted. God's not holding those things against you. Why are you? In Psalm 103-12, David wrote, "As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions from us." Not just forgiven, removed, gone, erased from the ledger. So why are you still carrying debt that heaven cancelled? I want you to say something out loud right now, right where you're sitting. I don't care if you're alone or if someone's in the next room. Say it. Lord, I receive what you send. I will not run from your goodness anymore. Say it again, louder this time. Let your spirit hear your voice, agreeing with heaven. Now let me speak to some things I know are sitting in this room with you. Loneliness, I see you. That ache that never quite goes away. That empty chair at the table. Those phone calls that never come. God says this Sunday, I am giving you my presence in such a tangible way that loneliness will not be able to breathe in your home. Lack, I see you too. That bank account that makes you anxious. That bill you've been staring at. That medication you're rationing. God says, I am Jehovah Jireh. I see your need before you speak it. Divine provision is chasing you down. Regret. Oh, I feel you heavy in here. Those choices you can't undo. Those words you can't take back. That time you can't get back. God says, I redeem. I restore. I make beauty from ashes. Your past does not disqualify your future. This is not about what you've earned. This is about who you are, a child of the Most High God. And what father wouldn't chase down his own child to make sure they're provided for? Think about the wounded soldier who finally lets the medic touch their wound. It hurts at first, the cleaning, the treatment. But that pain, that's healing beginning. Not more damage. Healing. You're that soldier, beloved. And this Sunday, heaven is saying, let me touch what hurts. Let me heal what's broken. Let me provide what's been lacking. The shift happens now. Not from chase to court. From chased to chosen. From running to receiving. From fear to faith. If you're still here, this is no accident. Write in the comments, I am chosen, not chased away. And if this message is ministering to your soul, share it with one person you love, someone who's been running just like you. In a moment, I'm going to give you a specific prayer for this Sunday morning, something simple but powerful. But first, you need to understand exactly what you're stepping into. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to give you is going to sound simple, almost too simple. And that's exactly why most people will skip right past it and miss the very moment heaven scheduled for their breakthrough. This Sunday morning, before you reach for your phone to check the weather, before you turn on that news channel that feeds you fear for breakfast, before you shuffle into your kitchen, wondering if today will feel as empty as yesterday, I need you to stop. Just stop. You know what you've been doing every Sunday for the last decade. You've been opening your eyes to another day and immediately agreeing with lack. You look at your bank statement in your mind before you look at the mercy of God. You count what you don't have before you acknowledge the breath you just took. You rehearse your limitations before you remember your identity. And heaven has been waiting for you to turn around, waiting for you to stop running long enough to receive what's been chasing you. Here's what I need you to understand. Psalm 118:24 says, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." Not tomorrow, not when things get better. This day, but you can't rejoice in what you won't receive. You can't be glad in a day you're trying to survive instead of occupy. So, this Sunday, we're changing your atmosphere, not with a magic formula, not with some prosperity gimmick, with agreement. Simple, powerful, earth-shaking agreement between you and the God who's been knocking on your door with arms full of provision. I want you to pray this prayer, and I want you to mean every single word. Start with thanksgiving. Place your hand on your heart, yes, physically do this and say, "Father, thank you that I'm breathing. Thank you that I woke up on this side of the ground. Thank you for another Sunday when I could have been a memory. You kept me here for a reason." Do you feel that? That's your heart recognizing truth. That's divine protection over someone heaven refuses to lose. Now comes surrender, and this is where most of you have been stuck for years. Keep your hand on your heart and say these words: "I give you my fear of lack. I give you my habit of running. I give you every reason I've used to keep the door chained. I surrender my need to control how and when blessing comes." Let me tell you something that's going to cut deep. Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding." But you've been leaning on your understanding for so long, you've forgotten what trust feels like. You've been managing poverty instead of receiving provision. You've been rationing grace instead of accessing abundance. That stops this Sunday. Next, invitation. Now stretch your hand outward, palm up, like you're receiving. Say this: "Let divine wealth in every form you choose find me right here. Peace, provision, purpose, dignity, healing. I stop running. Let it rest on me and in me." Do you know what you just did? You just opened the door. You just unbolted what's been locked. You just signaled to heaven, "I'm ready." Not for what I think I need, for what you know I need. Finally, obedience. Keep your hand stretched out and declare, "I say yes to whatever you ask today. I say yes to conversations you arrange. I say yes to promptings I don't understand. I say yes to seeds you tell me to plant. I'm yours. Use me." This is the prayer. 4 movements: thanksgiving, surrender, invitation, obedience. Write it down. Replay this section Sunday morning if you need to, but pray it like your atmosphere depends on it. This isn't magic, beloved. This is agreement. It's you finally turning around to face what's been chasing you for years, the relentless, unstoppable, overwhelming goodness of God. Think about it like this. You've been living with the blinds closed for so long, you forgot what sunlight looks like. You've been keeping the door bolted, afraid of who might walk in, not realizing it's someone who loves you, standing there with everything you need. Sunday morning, you open the blinds, you unbolt the door, you stop managing survival and start receiving abundance. James 4:8 promises, "Draw near to God and He will draw near to you. You take 1 step, He takes 10. You whisper, yes. He shouts breakthrough." If you're going to pray this on Sunday morning, if you're going to place your hand on your heart, stretch it outward, and finally let divine wealth catch you, type it right now. "I will pray this." That's not just a comment. That's your signature under the agreement. That's you telling heaven, I'm done running. But before you go into Sunday, there's something else you need to know. Something about your home, your body, your finances, and the legacy you think you've lost. What if everything you thought was over is actually just beginning? Chosen one, look how far you've come in just this hour. You walked into this message running from divine wealth, convinced you were too late, too old, too broken. But right now, in this sacred moment, you're standing still. You're no longer fleeing. You're finally ready to receive. From running to receiving. From I missed my time to I'm right on time. From barely making it through the month to being divinely sustained for the rest of your days. That shift? It's already happened. Heaven felt it the moment you stopped running. Now, before you close this video, before you return to your living room or your kitchen or that quiet bedroom where you've cried so many tears, I want to speak a blessing over your life. Not a religious formality. A real blessing. The kind your grandmother would have prayed over you if she knew what you've been carrying all these years. Wherever you are right now, I want you to receive this. Let these words settle into your bones like warm oil. I speak blessing over your home, that apartment, that house, that single room you call your own. I declare peace within those walls, protection over every door, stability when the world outside is shaking. Your home will no longer feel like a place you're just surviving in. It's about to become a sanctuary, a place where divine wealth flows through the hallways, where your grandchildren will feel something they can't explain, where strangers will walk in and say, there's peace here. Numbers 6:24 says, the Lord bless you and keep you. That's not just poetry. That's a decree over your dwelling place. Starting this Sunday, I speak blessing over your body, those tired knees that ache when the weather changes, that heart that's been through too much stress, those hands that have worked for 70, 80 years and feel like they've got nothing left to give. I declare strength for the days ahead, not the strength of youth, but something better, the strength that comes when God breathes on dry bones. You will not just survive the next season, you will thrive in it. Isaiah 40:31 promises those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. Your body is about to remember what it means to be sustained by something beyond pills and prescriptions. I speak blessing over your relationships. That son who stopped calling, that daughter who moved 3 states away and can't seem to find time for you, that marriage that's been cold for so long you forgot what warmth felt like, that friendship that ended in betrayal and never healed. I declare reconciliation where there's been silence, forgiveness where there's been bitterness, new connections where there's been loneliness. You will not die isolated. Divine wealth is about to flood your relationships with restoration you stopped praying for because you thought it was impossible. But Ezekiel 37:3 asks, can these bones live? I speak blessing over your finances, not just the checking account that's barely hanging on, not just the social security that disappears before the month ends. I'm talking about wisdom to steward what you have, provision that doesn't make logical sense, doors opening in your 80s that you thought only opened in your 20s. Deuteronomy 28:12 says, the Lord will open the heavens and pour out blessing. You've been living under a closed heaven, but this Sunday, the vault opens, the flow begins, and you will have enough. Not just to get by, but to give, to bless, to leave something behind that makes your name mean something. But let me paint you a picture of what divine wealth really looks like in your life. I see it. I see divine wealth not just in your wallet, but in your heart, in the way your children will finally understand what you sacrificed, in the stories your grandchildren will tell about you when you're gone, in the peace that will replace the panic, in the dignity that will return to your silver years, in the moment you look in the mirror and no longer see a burden, but a blessing. That's divine wealth. That's what's been chasing you. Now listen to me carefully. Wherever you are right now, if you can, I want you to open your hands. Physically open them, palms up. And I want you to say this out loud, even if your voice shakes. Say it. Divine wealth, you don't have to chase me anymore. I'm not running, I'm home. Say it again. I'm not running, I'm home. That's it. That's the prayer. That's the moment everything changes. Some of you are worried. But what if I wake up Sunday and nothing big happens? What if I don't feel different? Listen to me. The shift already began the moment you stopped running. Seeds don't explode out of the ground in 24 hours. They break open in the darkness where you can't see them. They're already working. This Sunday isn't about fireworks. It's about you finally standing still long enough to let divine wealth catch you. And it will. If this message touched something deep in your spirit, I need you to do something for me. Type in the comments right now, I receive it. That's not just a comment. That's your agreement with heaven. That's you, joining with thousands of other chosen ones who are done running. We're standing in agreement with you. And if you're in your silver years, if you're older, and you still feel God tugging on your heart, telling you there's more, this channel is your family now. Hit that subscribe button. Stay with us. Walk out these next chapters with people who understand that your best days aren't behind you. They're ahead. One more thing. Send this to someone. That friend who thinks God is done with them. That family member who's convinced their time has passed. Let this be their invitation too. Because divine wealth isn't just chasing you. It's chasing everyone who's been running. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. This Sunday, you stop running and start receiving. Welcome home, chosen one. Divine wealth has been waiting for you.